So why am I filing this down? Well, when I nipped off the piece of sprue that was right there, I ended up with a little tiny V on the top of that railing. And right now you don't see it. And I don't think you notice that this has been, a little shorter here than it was before. That little notch would have been quite noticeable. I almost had it happen on this side too, but not quite. Anyway, yeah, just thought I'd mention that. I think it'll be okay. Now this piece here, it actually represents probably a structure that would be at least as big as a two-story building, because we got two decks here. So you can envision this thing probably being about 20 feet long. I just measured that little piece accurately, and if you do the math, it comes out to just over 22 feet high. Now you could have 3 7-foot layers in that space. 3 decks. Now, mind you, it was probably made up mostly of, ladders and all that kind of stuff. I don't think they had any elevators in there. In fact, probably even the Admiral had to clamber his way up to his perch. And if you will recall, from a few episodes ago, I was mentioning how it is better to glue the part together and then remove this piece here. And that way when you file around it, you'll have better luck not so much on this side right here, more so on this side right here, where the two pieces were actually side by side. It looks like I've nipped them off, but I really didn't. There's you can notice if I get the angle just right there, you can see that it's proud of the seam. So I should be able to round that off in such a way that you're not even going to know that there was a seam there. Anyway, yeah. So I'll give you an idea how big this is. That's a doorway. That would have been about 6.5 feet high. Yeah. Let's get on with it. There's more to go here yet. Now this little piece right here, I'm wondering, is the ring supposed to be horizontal or is it supposed to be vertical? Let's see if we can find this in Stefan's book. And I realize that I'm getting it out of your field of view here. I'll try and bring it back. Okay, more or less got it. Yeah, is it supposed to go this way? Or this way? Well, I only really found 2 drawings that show at least where it is, and this is it right here. At least that's the one we're working on right now. The other one that we put in earlier is down here somewhere. And then there's another one up here. Okay, this is it right there. It's the same one, just coming out. But again, it doesn't show the ring. So I'm going to mount the ring horizontally. I think that what is supposed to happen is that a line is supposed to come down, run through a ring here, run through a ring here, go through a ring down here, and I don't know why this line would have to be able to be pulled, but apparently it was to do something. F10 and F11. Now, if we were to accidentally glue them on the wrong way around, we'd lose that door. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the way it's supposed to go. Put a little bit of extra thin on there and it's another beautiful summer day here in Winnipeg, and you can hear the kids out playing on the street. Now, fortunately, this is not a through street, it's a bay, and we'll now have local traffic, and they're aware that there's a lot of kids. Now, the funny part is, within probably less than 50 yards from where they're playing, there's a nice little park. Do they want to play in the park? Nope, they'll play on the street. I kind of worry about that sometimes, but what are you going to do? Now, if I can do the other one like that, I think it'll be okay. At first I thought possibly I had the doors opening the wrong way, but then I realized that they're going to be opening up against a wall. There's probably going to be something going right here where my finger is. So, yeah, they'd open up against that. That makes a lot of sense. Now, before we can glue these pieces on their proper places, like this one is going to go here, then this one here goes like so, and this piece here, that goes in there. They all have to be painted. Yeah. Now I realized that I could take a paintbrush and I could paint this stuff and it would look acceptable. But because the airbrush does such a much better job, I'm going to be using the airbrush. It makes it well worth the extra time it takes to set up and also clean up. Set up, I have to go down to the workshop and plug in my air hose, which is not a big chore, but I mean it's just one more thing you have to do. And then of course there's the getting ready and making sure your paint is thinned out just right, and then there's the cleanup afterwards with an airbrush. It takes 15-20 minutes if you're going to do it right. However, before we can actually get started doing this, we've got photo etch here that we've got to do, and I was looking at one of these, what I believe is a combination, and I'm not sure, but right here I can't really figure out how this is supposed to go. Maybe once I start bending it, I'll see what it is. But anyway, we got this photo etch to do first, so. As near as I can tell, there's only one piece we need off of the D sheet, and that's this one right here, D11. Okay, now we need B. B is in Bob, number 3, and number 4. And to me they look pretty much the same. But there must be some difference or they would be both named the same number. spin that around. Oh, that one made the popping sound. The other ones are so quiet, I don't know if I got them. Guess I'll soon know. Yeah, got that one. Very carefully now. Okay, there's the one loose. Very, very carefully. Okay, I know you can't see it, but there's a piece of plastic that they're stuck down on. I mentioned this before. It's not sticky like Scotch tape, but it's sticky enough to just sort of reinforce everything. Now, those of you who have a camera like this or similar to this, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. I'm opening up the lens so that I can focus it as good as possible. Then I'm closing the lens back down again so that it will have the best depth of field. And you will notice on the camera, possibly if you're watching this in HD, that there's a little red record button, which I forget to push. So consequently, I'm not able to do the two-camera thing like I had planned. Anyway, this is what we were looking at. Okay, now we have B16. And I'll try and get it without turning it around this time. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to get in your way here. Put it up to the edge. There we go. Now this should come loose. Very carefully here now. There we are. And that's how I do it. Now if you want to see something funny here, I'm going to reach up to the camera and push the record button. This is the way you do it. You push the record button once and it turns on. You push the button again and it turns off. Well, I think I'm turning it off, when in fact I'm turning it on. I had been planning on using Andy's photo-etch bender right now. However, we're going to have to take a bit of a step backwards, because just right now, the HDMI cable that runs from the camera to the monitor, I guess I was careless, and it dragged across the top here, and it's broken off those three pieces. So I gotta glue those back on. Now the bad news with something like this is that it is never the same. The good news is it's so small that usually nobody can notice. Just going to smoosh that around a little bit. It's not quite centered on that pedestal. There. I'll just straighten it up. It looks pretty good. I'll wait a few seconds before I try to press down on it, or maybe I'll just leave well enough alone there. Now, one of the viewers made the comment, I think it was in yesterday's video, that I used the extra thin in places that I should be using the CA glue, especially when it comes to, putting the photo-etch on. Did I actually get any on there? Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's right, I know I do that. Now, let's see if I can pick this up. Now, here's hoping it's just going to stay in place there. Yeah. I don't think I'm even going to try to straighten that. That's pretty close. Now, in all likelihood, had I used the CA on these things, these pieces may not have broken off. They are just barely held on by the... Anyway, let's spin this thing around here and see if we can get this one on. Yeah, they look pretty good. And we're going to cut this video off for today. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow for number 171.